Hi, hello viewers. Welcome to my classroom. Today's topic, Keeping Quiet, written by Pablo Neruda. Let us move to the classroom. Let's know about the poet. Pablo Neruda was born in Parral, Chile, South America. His father was a railway employee and his mother was a teacher. He studied in the University of Chile. He won Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971. Pablo Neruda was the pen name and later it became legal name of this famous Chilean poet, diplomat, a politician. In this poem, Neruda talks about the necessity of quiet introspection and creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings. His writings are simple, wherein lies their beauty. Originally written in Spanish, the essence of this poem is based on introspection and retrospection. The poet feels that some soul searching is needed for us to be at peace with ourselves and others. Hope you followed. Central idea of the poem. The poem Keeping Quiet, written by Pablo Neruda, discusses the need of maintaining peace and silence. He stresses upon being quiet and harmless to the human beings, animals, and environment. He suggests that in order to maintain peace and harmony, it is required to stop and introspect ourselves. We people are least concerned about ourselves and instead keep finding faults in others. We fail to understand our fellow beings, and in its place we developed hatred towards them. Today we have reached a stage where we need to find the cause of sadness that has filled the major part of our life. Our lives today are all about wars and misunderstandings because we have no time to look within and introspect. Hope you followed. Theme of the poem, Keeping Quiet, speaks about the universal brotherhood and peace. It urges people to stop all sorts of aggression, including that towards the environment. The theme of the poem is based on the necessity of quiet introspection and creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings. It also deals with the hearts of green wars and how they affect the world peace. Hope you followed. A brief introduction. In this poem, Pablo Neruda visualizes a state of inactivity where he wishes for present idleness and relaxation away from the delirious rat race, destructive activities and meaningless wars. He wishes for a complete silence and stillness that would ease the sadness caused by lack of self-understanding and the threat of self-destruction, and which would build up a sense of togetherness. Hope you followed. Let's have a look at the poem, stanza 1. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. Explanation for stanza 1. The poet here requests everyone to count till 12 and stop for a while. Maybe this 12 referred by the poet is the 12 hours in the clock or the 12 months in an year. He wants everyone to stop and calm down. The poet urges everyone not to speak any language, as we all know that there are different languages spoken in different parts of the earth, which sometimes become a barrier in our way for peace. So, he asks people not to speak. Not only this, he also wants us to stop moving our arms. Arms, he means the weapons which are used to raise a war against each other. So basically the poet is demanding peace from all of us. Hope you followed. Stanza 2. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Explanation for stanza 2. Poet says that it would be a rare situation when there will be no engines working. Here he wants to say that if everything comes to standstill, it will be an unusual moment. If all the engines like the vehicles and machines stop, then there will be a sudden strangeness, as the world will experience a sudden calmness. Hope you followed. Let us have a look at stanza 3. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hot hands. Hope you followed. Explanation for stanza 3. Further, the poet says that the fisherman will also stop and not harm whales in the sea. This means that the poet is urging everyone not to harm the animals. Here he gives the example of whales which are being caught for the purpose of food or trade. He also wants people to calm down so that they can stop and see what they have achieved or lost. For this, he gives the example of the man who gathers salt, whose hands are hurt. Here he wants everyone to stop for a while in order to see and feel their achievements and how much they have lost for the sake of attaining such materialistic things. Hope you followed. Let's have a look at stanza 4. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. Explanation for stanza 4. The poet asks everyone to stop those activities which are damaging the environment. Today all the human beings are making money by damaging the environment with their activities such as mining, deforestation, letting the chemical waste into rivers, etc. The poet asks us not to do so. He also requests people not to involve in wars, as there is no benefit of achieving such victory in which no one is left alive. He says so because wars and environmental damage will lead to no life on earth. Rather, he wants people to adopt a new approach towards life and mankind. He says that you should treat your enemy like brothers and promote peace and harmony in the world. Hope you followed. Let's have a look at stanza 5. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt the sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Explanation for stanza 5. The poet says when he is advising for silence, you should not be confused with total inactivity. Doing nothing doesn't lead to total inactivity. Total inactivity means death, and he has no association with death. We should not focus on only one thing, that is, keeping ourselves or keeping our lives moving. We should learn to give ourselves rest. For once doing nothing can be good for us. When we are threatening ourselves with death, then a long silence can do us good. Hope you followed. Let's have a look at stanza 6. Perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I'll go. Hope you followed. Explanation for stanza 6. Mankind can learn a lesson from the earth. Life and living never stops on earth. When everything appears to be dead, only one thing remains alive. It is the earth itself. Now the poet will count up to 12 and all others will keep quiet during that period. Then he will go out from there. Hope you followed and enjoyed the poem. Now let us have a look at literary devices. Alliteration. The repetition of a consonant sound in 2 or more consecutive words. Example, we will. Wa sound is repeating. Second example, we would. Wa sound is repeating. Sudden strangeness. Sa sound is repeating. Hurt hands. Ha sound is repeating. Words wet. Wa sound is repeating. Clean clothes. Ka sound is repeating. Hope you followed. Thank you, friends. That's all for today. But don't forget to like it. Click on bell icon and subscribe my channel. Thank you.